Good afternoon, everyone. I just would like to do a quick brief and a demonstration of our illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing dashboard that we have here at the Jack Gordon Institute. So my name is Wade Vickery. I'm a junior analyst at the Jack D. Gordon Institute for Public Policy, as well as a graduate student here in the Master of Arts Global Affairs program at FIU. So here we can see our ArcGIS dashboard on IUU fishing. So that is our illegal, unregulated, unreported fishing. Now, you may be thinking this is an economic security or environmental security issue, but this does have clear effects on these nations' national security. And when we look at that, it's not just the fact that we are overfishing 90% of global fish stocks, and that 1 in 5 fish that we encounter are illegally caught. It's that as these stocks are overfished, we lose these local and regional economies and jobs for these individuals. And this leaves them susceptible to other forms of illicit activity outside of their normal fishing activities. So this could be drug trafficking, human trafficking, other forms of using their vessels to maintain their way of life. So this dashboard isn't just an informational exhibit on the IUU problem in South America. This is a tool to inform decision makers, and I'd like to show you a little bit about how we do that today. So the 3 main activities that we look at are the fishing activities themselves. So that could be long, slow speed operations, so that it could indicate trolling or wide net fishing, these big scalping fishing operations. Then we have ship-to-ship meetings. So this is transshipment, similar to money laundering. So we have illegal catch on ship A. We meet with ship B in the middle of the open water. Ship B is a clean vessel. We transfer our illegal catch to ship B, and then ship B then goes to a clean port to enter our illegal catch into a legal economy. And then we have our dark activities. So these dark activities are the turning off of our AIS transponders to hide these IUU activities. So they approach these economic exclusivity zones, as we can see on our map here. They pile up off the coast of these hotspot fishing areas. They turn off their transponder. They cross over into an exclusivity zone, and then they illegally fish. And so as we adjust the map, all of these points adjust on our dashboards. So these 3 activities can be filtered through to see, okay, we have 360,000 points of information. How do we get to one specific vessel? And how do we stop them from illegally fishing? So we can click on different points. Let's look at China today. So we'll click on our graph, and we'll see how the map auto-populates only Chinese vessels. So we can see here we've gone from this large amount of activities down to a smaller amount. And then as we look at the bottom right underneath our map, these are the top 10 vessels of each activity in a region. So as we zoom in, let's look at the coast of Argentina today, as they are in a big fishing season. So this change is the chart, and we can click on, say, the top vessel in this region. So we can see that this vessel is operating over 8,000 hours of illegal fishing activity. The map shows us all of these activities, but I want to look at a specific example today of what they are doing in this region right now. So I want to plug into our filter at the top for dark activities, the Yangfa 6. So this is a Chinese fishing vessel that is currently acting in this region. So the red point a little further north on the map is an ongoing activity. So this shows us that this vessel has turned off its AIS transponder and is currently missing. So this is its last known location, just off the EEZ line of Argentina, and it disappeared 3 days ago, and it hasn't come back online. So we want to know, well, where's it going to be? We can talk all day about what happened, but we're here to prevent illegal fishing. This is a tool to help inform decision makers solve the problem. So we want to look at who they may meet with. Remember, we're looking at ship-to-ship meetings as well. So we can plug it into another filter on Vessel 1, because it is our focus vessel, and we can plug in Yangfa 6 again. And now it's going to show ship-to-ship meetings purely with this vessel. So we can click on this point here and say, okay, so it's going to show our information on the vessel. Okay, Chinese flag, this is the time of the meeting. Scroll down a little bit further, and we can see who it's met with. Okay, so it's met with the Yangfa 9. So this is another Chinese flagged fishing vessel back off the coast of Argentina. And if we want to dive in a little bit deeper, this dashboard has helped been created with our partners at Windward Intelligence, and we can click on this link and find out a little bit more about these vessels. So here at our link, we are able to see a picture of the vessel, a little bit about the ownership of the vessel, and its MMSI, IMO, and some other information if it is available. And we can scroll down, see why it is high risk, its dark activity frequency, its ship-to-ship frequency, slow speed operations, high amounts of forced labor, which is common in these IUU fishing vessels. And we can scroll down a little bit further. If it's on a blacklist, it indicates it, but we see the big map. This tracks back a year of activity for this vessel, where it's been, its port activity. We can see that its last port call was in Uruguay, and we can see if it is reporting where its next destination is. Right now, we can see that it's left the coast of Argentina, is on the tip of Africa right now, off of South Africa. We can scroll down a little bit further, and if we want to get deeper into, hey, where is it turning off its transmission activity? How frequent is it doing? Does it have other names that it has been in the past? Is it spoofing its AIS? What are its current activities, history? We can scroll down a little bit further and get deeper into the ownership. We even have the address. So when we go back to the dashboard real quick, we can really see that this is a very broad subject. When we look at it in a whole, it can be too much to consume. But with proper filters and utilization of this tool, we can narrow down to specific instances and then build out from there, building a network of, okay, ship A meets with ship B meets with ships C and D, and so forth, so that way we can systematically create a system, a lot of systems there, sorry about that, but to stop this problem and ideally reduce the amount of illegal fishing off your waters, securing your national security. So now I'd like to introduce our moderator for today's session on Maritime Security Reimagined. So this is going to be run today by Bruce Vickery, the Director of Research and Operations here at FIU's Jack D. Gordon Institute for Public Policy. He joins us after a 27-year career in the U.S. Army, where he finished here in Miami at U.S. Southern Command as the Chief of Future Operations. So please join me in welcoming Bruce Vickery to the stage in our panel.
And please let's give a round for Wade here. He's a great example of, these are the kind of students that we have here, right? I mean, he's only been here for a month working for me, and look what he can do. If this interests you, if I can get the panel to start coming up here, and we'll get set as I talk through a little bit. But again, we're out in the lobby. Wade's out there with some of our other research coordinators. If you want to get a demo or talk through that, or any of the other dashboards we have, we're happy to cover that, and some of the other publications that we have for it also. What I would like to say here too, a couple things on the dashboard, is so we worked with Southcom to identify the hotspots to begin with, and then with Windward to build the AI model to get that activity in those areas. There was a Southcom analyst who was on a Coast Guard ship off the coast of Peru, went 2 years in a row. First year, the way he described looking at boardings, they looked out on the horizon and identified some random ship out there. And he kind of said in his anecdote, about 10% of the time they found illegal activity, some IUU fishing, and did some citations. The second year, using this dashboard and a reach back cell back at Southcom in order to sort of target and look at what are those high risk vessels, it went up well over 50% from where it was before. So again, in a resource constrained environment with not a lot of ISR or cutters to go do boardings, every thing you can do counts. And so the one thing also, if you can go to and another part of this, if you go to the AI export there's a chatbot in here, and there's a ton of information. This has more data that's in the data set in terms of why is it high risk, last port, next port, et cetera. So just highlight that. So with that, if you can close that down. So I'd like to